Adrian! Adrian, BRONER, and GRANADOS. Your undercard has just been upgraded, or should I say co-feature. Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from boxing. And like I said, the undercard has just been upgraded, right? From the Adrian BRONER and Adrian Granados fight on February the 18th, right? What has happened is you got your boy Lamont Peterson versus my man, what's his name, David Avanesyan, right? For the WBA regular title in the welterweight division. Got to put the quotes up when I say regular because I just don't think there should be that many champions. The real champion, the WBA champion, the welterweight, is Keith Thurman, but they call him the super. You know how the WBA rolls. They got the interim and the regular popping off. So Lamont Peterson will be fighting David Avanesyan. And David Avanesyan is the regular title holder after beating Shane Mosley, who's about 90 years old. So now he has the title, and him and Lamont Peterson will fight. And I think it's good for these guys because it's a direction type fight. The winner of this fight will be pushed in a little bit. Having that title, he'll have a little bit more notoriety, or he'll be a little bit hot. So people will be looking probably to fight him. The winner of this fight would not be worthy of fighting the winner of the Garcia-Thurman fight. No, but maybe the loser of that fight, right? But not the winner. Now, Lamont Peterson is the kind of fighter I encourage you people who are not real deep boxing fans to watch the guy. He's in a lot of exciting fights. He's one of those guys that go up a little bit under the radar, where you would call him a good fighter, not elite or great, but good fighter, good action fighter. And he's been in there with some very significant guys. I mean, from his last 12 fights, he's fought 5 undefeated guys, 5 guys with a record with only 2 losses or less, right? The guys he's lost to, all are named guys. He's lost the unanimous decision to Timothy Bradley. He lost to Danny Garcia, which most people think he won that fight, which means he was in a competitive fight with an elite fighter in the welterweight division. He was blown out by Lucas Matisse, which he can stand in line with the other dudes who got blown out by Lucas Matisse. It can happen early. He got caught early, similar to the Corey Sanders-Vladimir Klitschko fight. It happens to the best of them. But he has been in there with a lot of people. I'm missing some names. Victor Ortiz, for example. A lot of people. Kendall Holt. You know, just a lot of people. His last 12 fights are very significant. If I were to compare that to the guy who has the title, the regular title, David Avanesyan, his last 12 fights, guys, I'm going to look down here, and I'm going to tell you the records. What I'm going to read to you, the numbers that I will say now, are the losses for the people that he's fought in his last 12 fights. The losses. The last one was 9 losses. That was Shane Mosley. That's his best scout. He beat Shane Mosley last year in May, which tells you, well, how old was Shane Mosley? No, I said 90, okay, maybe about 92. Okay, whatever. But we're just joking. But we know Shane Mosley is old at this point, right? But he did beat Shane Mosley per unanimous decision. But he has 9 losses. The one before that, y'all ready for this? 7 losses. Before that, 4. Before that, 16. Before that, 10. Before that, 5. Not that bad. Before that, 4. Pretty good. Before that, 6. Before that, undefeated guy. He fought an undefeated guy. I don't know his name right now. And that undefeated guy, he beat him by split decision. Before that undefeated guy with 18 losses. And before that, 8. Okay? So, that guy is the regular champion. That's why he gets quotes. Okay? Now, doesn't mean that he's not going to do something in this fight against Lamont Peterson. That's why it's going to be a good, significant fight to watch, especially if you have it on the same card as Adrian and them, right? So that card, that makes that night, February the 18th, a little bit more significant. It's going to be a night where I'm going to tune in now. Wasn't really sure, but when Lamont Peterson fights, I like to watch the guy, right? I like to watch the guy. I kind of hope that he can kind of just get a little 10% more out of himself to get himself into 1 or 2 more big fights before he calls it a day. you're going to see this should be a good fight no matter what. And the winner of this fight, like I said, is looking good. You know, it has a little steam behind him after that. You know, and Avanesyan, David Avanesyan, you know, bless his heart. You know, this one here, you know, is for him very important. You need to win this if you want to take that next step, because your resume, unfortunately, it stinks. It stinks, right? So you need this win if you want to be relevant going forward. Peterson, same thing, but I don't think if he lost, people know that he's been in so many fights. He's not been that active of late, but when you fight so many fights of this magnitude where, you know, 50-50 fights, hard fights, then you need to listen to your body a little bit. You don't need to be fighting. He's had about 36, 37 fights. So you're not going to be active forever. These are humans. This is not PlayStation. So I'm not mad at the man for not being that active, right? So, you know, now let's see what happens going forward. That makes that card on that night a really big deal. So, February 18th, let's get ready to rumble. Doing Sports Talk Worldwide, and I'm up out of here.